Good afternoon. Welcome to the webinar. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy day to join TOTO, Key Resin, Natural Stone, Trespa Top Lab, Formica, and me, Terry Swack from Sustainable Minds. We are really excited about our new series, Excellence in High Performance Building. This is the second in the series, where you're going to be hearing from leading manufacturers making high performance products and materials, investing in product transparency. And those are the stories they're going to tell you. What's unique about this year's series is that all of the webinars since we launched the Transparency is the New Green series in 2019 have focused on manufacturers talking about their products and the work they did to create EPDs, material disclosures, and what they learned along the way. This year, because transparency really is more of the norm rather than the exception, we're going to say, of course, all of these manufacturers making high performance materials have EPDs and material disclosures. Let's really focus on the performance and the applications that these products have in the various kinds of built environments and building typologies that you guys all work on. So this is the second in the series. There's more coming. If you missed the previous one, Tight, Dry, and Durable, the recording is on our blog. You can watch that at any time. This webinar is being recorded. It will be posted on our blog. After the webinar is over, there's going to be a few questions. If you don't mind taking a little bit of time and giving us some feedback about the webinar. You can also ask us to have one of the manufacturers or more of all of them follow up with you if you want to learn more about their products. You can request the deck. So all of that will be available to you after the webinar. So a little bit about Sustainable Minds. For those of you who are new, we are the only end-to-end product transparency solutions provider for the high performance building materials design and construction industry today. So what does that mean? That means that we deliver PCRs, EPDs, we deliver LCA and material ingredient disclosure services, and all of that is in service of getting products into projects. So here's a little graphic that explains that. The only end-to-end product transparency solutions provider for building product manufacturers, and we get your products into projects and libraries in our application, now the Transparency Catalog with Project Builder and Library. What that means for architects, engineers, contractors, and real estate owners is that now you have a way to build your own internal knowledge base of preferred materials based on the attributes that you use to select materials so that you can use those same materials over and over again. For building product manufacturers, we work with manufacturers on their entire product transparency journey or just the parts that you need. So here's a diagram that shows PCR, LCA, EPD, transparency catalog. And you can see two of today's participants, TOTO and Natural Stone, are illustrated in this graphic simply to show that they have participated in developing PCRs. TOTO does their own LCAs, but for Natural Stone, we did the industry average LCAs, created those industry average EPDs. We developed TOTO's EPDs. And for many of the manufacturers like Key Resin and Formica, they already have EPDs and material disclosures. So we work with them just on getting their products into the catalog and making it accessible to project teams and into projects and libraries. So what we like to say is that having transparency gives manufacturers a competitive edge, but equally important is the delivery system for the products and the documents to get them in front of project teams and specifiers. And what we do is we take that data to make brands and products findable, make the data actionable so that it drives specification. And this is just a shout out to TOTO. For a number of years, and I'm going to go with 11 years. TOTO has been working with us to develop PCR Part Bs for the plumbing products industry. So big shout out to TOTO for leading the charge on making it possible for plumbing product manufacturers to report. And so for those of you familiar with the Transparency Catalog, or even not, it is the leading source of building construction products for high performance, low carbon, and healthier buildings. We've made it super easy for industry professionals to collaboratively select, specify, and procure products and reward building product manufacturers for making them. And it really is a quid pro quo. These manufacturers have for years now invested in making improvements in their products and materials. You're going to hear those stories today, and investing in product transparency. All of them on the webinar today have been doing this for years to make their product transparency documents accessible, understandable, available, so that you can select those products and get them into your projects and libraries. We have today over 2,360 manufacturers in the catalog in 28 divisions, over 1,000 sections. And we aggregate EPDs from all North American program operators. We classify them as product-specific industry average and optimized all of the material ingredient disclosures. And we have been in the process of adding all the low emitting certificates from the key providers. We believe, and again, this is our differentiator, it's critical to make the information in these technical documents easy to understand and use the data, not just easy to find the documents. And so when you use the Transparency Catalog, we have a whole range of filters down the left side that allows people to filter and choose materials based on the performance attributes that they care about. So for example, this shows how you can select products with EPDs based on embodied carbon intensity. That's data that we get from the EC3 tool. You can select products with material disclosures that have the type of material disclosure that you prefer with the results that you prefer. Here we're showing you can actually find red list free products from HPDs, not only declare labels. And what we've done is we've integrated the common materials framework into the Transparency Catalog. So it's behind the scenes. The CMF is from Mindful Materials. The AIA Material Pledge uses it for pledge reporting, and LEED has taken the CMF and has kind of created their own version of it to drive reporting. And so because we've integrated the CMF into the background, and all of the documents in the Transparency Catalog are classified by the impact areas that they contribute to, we actually have two classification systems, documents, how they contribute to just the CMF, but also they are classified by their contribution to LEED, because it's actually different. LEED did not use the exact same contribution methodology. And so we've classified those documents so that they will easily flow into this real-time status reporting. And you can see we've simply labeled the document types with the CMF. And so what we've been able to create are these real-time status reports. So as project teams build projects in Project Builder, these reporting tabs will automatically show the product's contributions to the entire contribution to the CMF across the whole project, the material pledge, and now the LEED BPSP report is live. And within 2 weeks, we'll have the 2 pilot credits and the low emitting credit report also live, so that, again, in real time, all of the products and all of the documents associated with them will show how those products contribute to these different frameworks and rating systems. And so at the end of this webinar, I'm going to show you a quick demo of how easy it is to add these manufacturers' products to your projects and your libraries and get that real-time visibility into how those products are contributing to reporting, those reporting frameworks. But I'd like to turn it over to Fernando to tell us about what TOTO is doing to make durable materials and designs for high traffic restrooms.
Thank you, Terry. Thanks for having me on today as a presenter. Let me go ahead and get started. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Fernando Fernandez. I am the Vice President of Codes and Standards here at TOTO. I've been in the industry for about 30 years, and my day to day primary focus at TOTO involves coordinating product testing, certification for new launch items, as well as design review for conformity assessment. I'm part of a team here at TOTO USA to help build out our sustainability, advocacy, and action plans. Sustainability is at the core of TOTO's value proposition. Defining moment for me, actually, that I wanted to comment quickly on was really TOTO being the first plumbing products manufacturer to come out with transparency reports, uh, as Terry alluded to, probably about 12, 13 years ago for our entire commercial product line. A little bit about the company. Let me go back one. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay there. Okay, so TOTO USA, we're a subsidiary of TOTO Limited out of Japan. Uh, TOTO was founded in 1917. Uh, TOTO's founder, actually quite a visionary, he traveled worldwide, and his sole purpose was to look at uh, studying other markets globally and seeing what kind of products were being used, what technologies were being implemented in factories design wise, and really try to set out being a complete ceramic technology powerhouse, which we feel he's accomplished at present day. Uh, TOTO US entered the market in 1989 with some northeastern states at that time, which coincidentally were moving lower and lower in terms of water consumption for indoor plumbing products. Coincidentally, federal law was still at 3.5 gallons per flush for toilets, yet on the horizon at that time was the Energy Policy Act of 1992, where in which Toto had opportune timing to launch some of their high technology products, which were saving water beyond 50%. Quite a defining moment for Toto. Uh, and current times, 2010 to present, again, product transparency central to our mission. And one of the things we do uniquely is I think we look at our product portfolio, our entire catalog, as long life infrastructure, and it directly impacts water use, energy consumption, public health and safety, and of course, consumer trust. Cleanliness and comfort are central to our themes. Um, that said, today our commercial products that use advanced technology are durable by design, durable in the materials that we're using, and they're a perfect match for high traffic restroom environments, which is the focus of today's theme. So, which products have transparency documents? So, I would say about 95% of our product line is that have the transparency documents are commercial. Um, the main reason for that is it closely aligns with lead requirements and also some of the points that one can accumulate in the architectural and engineering communities. So it definitely helps contribute to lead points. Not only do we have transparency reports, but we also have um, the health product declarations as well. So, one of the case studies that I want to use today for purposes of this presentation is the Atlanta airport. I'm sure many of you have been through that airport, quite high density, high traffic. Um, As you can expect, the restrooms there have high frequency use, and the product has to perform, and durability is 100% vital to products being specified there. Some of the statistics I just wanted to review briefly. It is the busiest airport in the US and the world by passenger traffic. Last year alone, it handled just over 106 million passengers. It's the only airport to globally exceed 100 million annual travelers. On average, you would see about 290,000 passengers per day. So, what does that actually mean? So, with high passenger density come longer dwell times as a result of heavy flushing frequency, hand washing cycles. People are using the restrooms in airports for all sorts of purposes, shaving, freshening up. So cleaning demands across hundreds of restroom fixtures every day. Uh, so you want to talk about high traffic? That is certainly the perfect snapshot of it. Also, during disruptions or holiday travel surges, restroom traffic can intensify much more. So, focal to this presentation is elevating the bathroom experience with our cleanovation technologies. Our cleanovation technologies, we have six types. I'm going to name them briefly: Cephion Tech, Tornado Flush, Rimless, EcoPower, E-Water Mist, and Soft Flow. And you'll see how all of these converge together to contribute to great usage and um, reduced water consumption in high traffic environments. So that said, our brand philosophy is cleanovation. Um, when we describe the individual technologies, we really refer to that as clean synergy. So when all of those come together, it represents our core philosophy. So first up, what we have here is Cephion Tech as our first TOTO cleanovation technology. Uh, what it stands for is ceramic fine ion technology. And so essentially what that means is it's a nanotechnology glaze that's applied to the porcelain. It creates an ionized barrier and leaves a non-porous surface that is completely smooth. Uh, in this, you'll find you don't need harsh cleaning detergents, which can be very damaging to the environment once they're flushed out. Um, Under extreme magnification, one of the things you'll notice is on the left, um, we have a cross section of the porcelain that is treated with the Cephion Tech glaze. And you'll notice the red dots along the top surface of the Cephion Tech layer display the uniformity of that ionic barrier. And what that is essentially it's an electrical charge that's permanently baked in, and it helps repel some of the hard water stains that one would tend to get over time. So it just helps keep that bowl a little cleaner. And the slide on the right, or rather the photos on the right, is yet another type of magnification that shows the smooth like mirror finish of the glaze. So what happens is it creates a more hydrophilic surface. So it's just so much easier to keep clean, quite frankly. Um, the next innovation that we have is the cleanovation for Toto's tornado flush design. The tornado flush, again, industry standard in terms of performance. We've raised the bar. We can go as low as 1 gallon per flush now. Um, and if you compare that and think back to the pre-Energy Policy Act days of 3.5 gallons, we've definitely come a long way leading this efficiency fight in terms of becoming more sustainable. So the tornado flush uses two rimjet holes up along the top, which allows the water to spray out in a swirling centrifugal motion. And so there's much more surface area of that bowl that's cleaned out by the water, and the swirling action helps generate a strong siphon action. Furthermore, the another add-on that we have to the tornado flush design is also rimless construction. So rimless design uses a smooth surface on the inside for a more efficient rim and bowl wash. It is unlike the traditional box rim where you would have holes underneath the rim of the bowl where dirt and grime can accumulate, and it just makes it so much more difficult to clean. So this is one of the newer technologies that we have, and combined with the tornado flush, it just makes for a much more efficient flushing action. As we also look at commercial restroom environments, one of the things you'll notice uh, in our designs for both our touch-free sensor faucets and flushometer valves is something we call EcoPower technology. Essentially, EcoPower harnesses the flow of water and it spins a turbine, which creates energy that in turn charges a capacitor, and you simply eliminate the need for batteries. So, no, we don't have an AC powered product line for faucets and flushometer valves. You don't need it. And furthermore, you don't need to be replacing batteries every 3 to 5 years. With this type of technology, it just adds and lends itself to the durability factor, which
Hey,
is so.
Fernando, sorry,
Yes,
I'm going to ask you to wrap up in 1 minute.
yes, yeah, gotcha. And so, coming toward the end here, we have our e-water mist product, and yet one more for cleanovation purposes. Essentially, through electrolysis and conversion of the normal tap water in the system with some sodium chloride ions, it generates a mist that once again helps sanitize the surface of the sinks. So these are some of the different technologies that we're using. There's also one more called soft flow, which reduces splashing. And these are the perfect products for a restroom environment that is high traffic. So all of these technologies help answer one important question: why Toto? And it's all about transparency, cleanliness, hygiene, wellness, comfort, and just being smart about our designs. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. I'm always amazed by the incredible technologies that Toto beautifully designs into its products. I've had people say to me, I had no idea Toto had that much technology. So uh, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Sarah, tell us about natural stone.
Yeah, very different from plumbing, but I'm going to try to tie it back together with an airport reference.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Sarah Gregg. I work with the Natural Stone Institute. For them, officially, I am the marketing director, but I also am in charge of sustainability initiatives for the Natural Stone Institute and the larger natural stone industry. Part of my role has put me in front of the Natural Stone Sustainability Standard, helping to keep that multi-attribute industry credential relevant and updated to make sure that it's useful in the marketplace. I've also been right in the middle of our industry-wide EPD programs, helping to recruit companies, helping to explain to the stone companies the importance of providing this data transparency, and then also taking that into the A&D market and answering questions and building awareness for what a great sustainability story natural stone has. I also advocate for responsible sourcing, science-based sustainability solutions, and on a global scale, which is kind of a newer and exciting part of my role, is working with other stone associations throughout the world to help
Sarah, can you hear me? And Amber, can you hear me? Not sure what's happening with.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sarah, we lost your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Could you hear me at the beginning?
Yes, we lost you, I think, at the beginning of this slide.
Okay. Well, in the interest of time, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, well, you can just quickly cover what you just said. I mean, it's a nice overview.
Okay, so I represent a trade association, which is different than the other panelists here, but we provide natural stone education, we write standards, we provide technical resources, and we also bring the industry together to form a community, a place to share everyone's voice and make sure that the perspectives of the different elements of the natural stone supply chain are represented in the work that we're doing. Today, I'm going to talk specifically about flooring and paving applications. Natural stone is a very versatile product, but because the topic is high performance, high traffic buildings, we are going to talk about flooring and paving specifically. So to kick us off on this topic, waiting for my slides to advance. Maybe I need to start again. Okay.
They're advancing. I think you skipped one.
Yes, I did. Okay, I can't get it to move back, but oh, there we go.
Is that
So,
it? Yeah.
Yep, the definition of natural stone for us is that materials that are quarried directly from their in situ position within the earth and cut or processed without altering the natural fabric of the material. There's a lot of other materials out there on the market that may have stone as part of their description because they may include raw materials of stone, but then they are crushed and glued back together in some way through some process. But with our specific industry, we are not altering the fabric of the material. So some examples are granite, limestone, marble, what you see up on the screen. I just wanted to set the stage there before we get started. Some inherent attributes of natural stone. Number one, it's 100% natural. It's a single ingredient and it's a healthy material. So what that means is that it's inherently non-emitting. So in an indoor space, there are no VOC emissions. There are also lifetimes of reliable, environmentally friendly use. It lasts a very long time. It often uglies out before the performance ceases. So we definitely have durability on our side. Also, because it comes from the earth, Mother Nature essentially does most of the manufacturing for us. So because of that, we have a very low inherent natural embodied carbon when compared to other materials, because there's fewer ingredients, fewer trucks that need to go to a certain place to put everything together, and just fewer steps in that process. And another key thing about natural stone is that it is full-bodied, which means that there are endless opportunities for refinishing and reuse. So if there's a chip or something needs to be refinished, we can do that because the material that is underneath is the same as the material that is on the surface. So we can take it off of one application, put it onto something entirely new with a little bit of fabrication. So to get started, oh, sorry, I forget which slide I'm on. So we did publish a set of 3 industry-wide EPDs, one for cladding, one for flooring, and one for countertops. These were published in 2022 through Sustainable Minds, and we're actually working on our second industry-wide EPD with them this year. So we love working with the Sustainable Minds team, and I would highly recommend them if you're looking into doing some for your business or for your industry. We chose the cladding, flooring, and countertops categories. As I mentioned earlier, it's a very versatile material, and there's a lot of other product categories that we are applicable to, but these were the ones that seemed to get the most requests for this type of documentation. So those are the ones that we did first, and then we'll work on more throughout the years. We also have HPD templates We worked with the Health Product Declaration Collaborative to establish templates for natural stone. So that makes it easy for our members to put those templates into their libraries, and then there's only a few fields that they need to update before they get them published. So that's a really great way to, help companies in our industry, and just one of the services that we provide to our members. We also have a multi-attribute industry credential, the Natural Stone Sustainability Standard, and that's part of our transparency reporting. Oh, now we went the wrong direction. See if we can get into our case studies here. So I'm going to start by talking just a little bit about the historical use of stone, which really tells the entire durability story on its own. If we can use a durable material, we're reducing replacement frequency, right? If we can eliminate a replacement cycle, then we are significantly reducing impacts on the long-term building impact for that project. We also have a timeless aesthetic. It's a material that ages really well, and it can remain desirable for generations. Some examples that I have to show you. Number one is the Roman Colosseum in the top left. Been there for a very long time. We've got the Acropolis in Greece. The one on the bottom left is St. Marco's Square, which also has natural stone in a very high traffic area. A lot of the material from there was actually imported from other projects. So it's on its second use and probably fourth or fifth life cycle in your traditional sense of that timeline as we speak. The one on the bottom right is a German community, a very old cobblestone road that is obviously very high trafficked. And you see those throughout Europe and throughout the world. Not so much here in the US, but every once in a while we see a lovely, charming town with some old cobblestone streets. So there is your lifetimes of solid performance for natural stone. But we'll also talk about some modern examples. I'm very sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble with the slides. So in flooring and paving, we have a material that's really performs well in airports, plazas, campuses, anywhere where you've got a lot of traffic and you need something that's going to perform for a long time. We've talked about full bodied, that it can be refinished and replaced or reused in another area, and its timeless appearance. So the next couple of slides that I have for you are actual examples that have received Pinnacle Awards or Tucker Awards through our award program last year in 2025. This one is the Frick Collection. It's a museum in New York City, and it has marble floors, and there's a lot of traffic in and out of this building. And it's very beautiful. There's limestone walls throughout as well, but those highly trafficked areas, marble performs really well. In comparison to other natural stones, we don't consider marble, the best of the best with regard to durability, but it still stands up extremely well.
So Sarah, we're going to need you to try to wrap up in about 30 seconds.
Okay. Sorry, all these slide issues. Okay, this is a cool project. The driveway is actually made from reused material. So it came from another project. They installed it on this driveway that gets lots of freeze-thaw cycles each year, and is constantly has the plows moving snow and such from the driveway. The next one is Sunnyvale Civic Center. So this is a community area in California and gets lots of traffic and is a very beautiful use of natural stone. And the JFK Airport, this was installed by Miller Druck back in 2000, and gets an incredible amount of traffic. I promised you I'd tie it back to the plumbing industry and their airport example. So here you go there, natural stone in a lot of airports and really high traffic areas like that. I want to I'll try to do it as quickly as I can. We've got our natural stone catalog, and we're relaunching this database in the end of the summer. And it's a very easy way for you to find materials for natural stone that have sustainability documentation, and you can locate those performance metrics that are important as well. It will feed into the mindful materials data ecosystem. So that's a really cool thing. Terry talked quite a bit about the common materials framework earlier, so I won't spend too much time on that. But if you're interested in learning more, I would be very happy to schedule a call with you. So in closing, natural stone, centuries of proven performance and longevity. Hopefully I've showcased that with the case studies that I have. We've got unlimited opportunities for reuse, and our current focus is really making sure that specifiers have the data that you need to make comparable decisions and prioritize natural stone in more projects.
Thank you, Sarah. So in conclusion, if you're not sure about the lifetime of the building project you're working on, and maybe it's millennia, go with stone. So thank you, Sarah. And Dan, tell us about Key Resin's beautiful terrazzo floors.
Sure. Thank you for having me this afternoon. My name is Dan O'Connell, and I am the Midwest Regional Sales Manager for Key Resin Company. I've been in the coatings and paints industry for over 30 years, the last 12 with Key Resin and Flow Resin. For the company, I'm responsible for working with installers, owners, architects, designers, and more recently, a lot of engineering companies, while also delivering training when needed and technical support, both in-house and out in the field, to a wide variety of customers. Key Resin is a industry leader in innovative floor solutions, and sustainability is at the forefront of that innovation, which is why we prioritize initiatives such as the EPD, HPD, and other clean air certifications. So Key Resin, Flow Resin, and KRC Terrazzo, I'll get more into that in a second. We generally cover the Division 9, 6.7 resinous flooring and 0966 resinous terrazzo portions of your CSI specifications. We were founded in 1993 by one of the pioneers of the U.S. resinous flooring industry, and we've grown every year since. We're headquartered in Batavia, Ohio, which is where we're principally manufactured and distributed, but we do have a satellite plant in Phoenix and warehouses nationwide. Those warehouses serve customers all over North and South America, the Caribbean, Asia, and the Middle East. We offer 3 brands. Key Resin is the cornerstone of the operation, but we do offer a brand called Flow Resin, which is an antimicrobial coating system, very popular in pharmaceuticals and the food and beverage industry. And then KRC Terrazzo, and Terrazzo is going to be the focus of this really going forward. Under those brands, we provide a wide variety of epoxies, urethanes, polyaspartics, urethane cements, and methyl methacrylate, or MMA as it's often called. We're trusted by leading organizations in food and beverage, automotive, commercial, pharmaceutical, military and defense, and aerospace. And some of our customers include Boeing Aviation, Ford Motor Company, Kroger, and Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals. We offer 41 Key Resin HPDs, 14 Flow Resin HPDs, and 16 Key Resin Flow Resin EPDs. Our products, because of their low or no VOC nature, can contribute to LEED credits. They are Intertech Clean Air Gold certification, and they do, like the natural stone that preceded me, provide lower life cycle costs. So while terrazzo floors may be more expensive initially, they oftentimes will last the life of the building, and even through multiple renovations, possibly multiple tenants, because they are a lifetime floor. Just some pictures of our product lines. The first is a very common use of our products. We do an awful lot in the education realm. That is our Key Chip 100 No Wax floor for Edgewood Independent School District down in Texas. That is a thinner flake floor, very, very decorative. A lot of craftsmanship goes into creating a floor like that using free-flowing resins. Secondly is our industrial sort of material. That's the Flow Resin SRX, which is the antimicrobial. The antimicrobial additive is throughout the coating. It doesn't wear off, it does not wash away, and can contribute to cleaner food and beverage facilities, cleaner pharmaceutical areas, cleaner commercial kitchens, et cetera, et cetera. On the commercial side, one of our most popular products is called Key Lux, which is a fast turnaround, self-leveling resin floor system. The picture you see there is at a local Cincinnati area Coca-Cola bottling facility. And that's outside an office area and some locker rooms and restrooms. So it is very high traffic. And that was installed over a holiday weekend and put back into service the next morning after the holiday ended, and has been in use ever since with zero issues durability-wise. For terrazzo, what makes terrazzo? Well, it is some sort of a pigmented epoxy, what we call the matrix, and then aggregates, fillers, divider strips, and then some companion resins. Back to the aggregates, the most common and is marble chips. These are a naturally derived product. There is a broad range of colors and sizes available. You'll also see granite or quartz. Mother of pearl is very popular for adding a lot of visual appeal to a terrazzo floor. It is the terrazzo mother of pearl aggregate is a byproduct of the button industry. So if you look down at your blouse or your shirt, you may see those pearlescent buttons. Those are often mother of pearl, and the spent shells are then ground and turned into terrazzo aggregate. Glass is a very, very popular, not only in its clear form, but also various colors, including mirror that can be recycled. You see some shells, which of course naturally derived, and some synthetic chips as well for more primary colors. A few case studies here. This was recently completed at Denison University in Granville, Ohio. This building was called Doane Hall and was built in 1895. So it is undergoing a very thorough restoration. And as part of that restoration, to last the next 135 years or more, they decided to go with terrazzo floors in the main traffic areas of the building. Being 135 years old, the floors were natural hardwood. So in order to reduce the deflection in the floors, they had to piggyback joists, provide X-bracing, and do a lot of other structural enhancements to support not only the terrazzo, but the other types of flooring that was going to be installed. The next is Mercy Health. This is up just north of Cincinnati in an area called Kings Mill. Being a hospital and healthcare facility, long-term durability, pleasing aesthetics, calming aesthetics, as well as cleanability are at the forefront. Terrazzo being a seamless option, it does not harbor mold, mildew, bacteria, does not allow it to grow. It is very easily cleaned, and the life cycle is very, very long. So the healthcare industry, as well as multiple other industries, including airports, local, state, and federal governments, all rely on terrazzo to give them essentially a lifetime floor. Finally, this is the Kankakee Welcome Center. The state of Indiana is renovating or tearing down and constructing new rest areas. This is along I-65 heading southbound out of Chicago, just to north of DeMotte, Indiana. There's Kankakee River, there's the Tippecanoe River nearby, so they wanted kind of a free-flowing design aesthetic in the floor to mimic some of the water motion, and then the terra firma, the farmland on either side of the river. So obviously with terrazzo, not only do you have long-term durability, but also sustainability and a unlimited color palette and design capabilities with this material. In addition to flooring, it can be precast into cove base, benches, tiles, so forth and so on. So sustainability standards. As I mentioned, we have the EPDs, the HPDs, the Intratec Gold, and we're seeing more and more architects specifying these products with the environmental certifications required. Our resins are generally 0 or low VOC. They do not have any post-installation off-gassing that you may get with other types of floor systems or fixtures. They can also be, because of their low odor, they can be applied without disrupting adjacent occupied spaces. So airports are not necessarily going to shut down an entire terminal. They can shut down a portion of it, install terrazzo without bothering the passengers or staff of the airport during its installation. One of the growing trends is in to further enhance the sustainability is using a higher percentage of bio-based content in the resins. And Key Resin is definitely at the forefront on this. There are, this is a growing trend, and so we are leading the charge on this, not only with terrazzo, but with other types of resin flooring. So Key Resin now offers something called environmentally sustainable resinous line. And that includes our terrazzo, which installs like traditional terrazzo, poured in place. It finishes and grinds like traditional terrazzo and provides the durability that terrazzo customers are accustomed to.
And Dan, we're going to need you to wrap up in the next 15 seconds or so.
No trouble. So we also have our ESR UV coating, which is a 100% solids epoxy clear to be used on other sorts of Key Resin floors. And then the Key Resin Key Lux that you saw at Coca-Cola, that can also be made with a higher level of bio content.
So thank you, Dan.
Sure.
So if your building project needs a floor that only needs to last 100 years, then go with terrazzo. But such beautiful projects. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And Christelle, continue with the high performance healthcare applications. Let's hear about Trespa.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. So my name is Christelle Locarinville. I'm the marketing manager at Formica Canada and the commercial sustainability leader at Formica Corporation. I have more than 20 years in the marketing side of things, and recently I've also added an ESG certification. I'm also certified PMP for project management. I lead Formica Group North America Green Team, which is a team that is dedicated to listening to your needs. So the needs of architects, designers, fabricators, GCs, whatever you need in terms of sustainability, we're here to help you and provide what we don't already have. Sustainability is embedded in everything that we do at Formica Group. And our products are just the tip of the iceberg, but we do a lot of other things underneath, which usually is at the manufacturing level. And this is where it all starts. If we improve what we do in terms of emissions and reduce our footprint, it always then shows into our products, EPDs, and all of those certifications that we have for you. So where do we come from? So Formica, the brand was invented back in 1913 by two engineers that discovered that a material they were looking at to replace the mica, so for mica, that's where it's coming from, which was a mineral that was becoming more and more expensive. They discovered by using plastic resin, it would be a nice substitute for mica. And they also later in around 1930s discovered that it could be visually appealing and it could be a good surfacing solution. That is where laminate was created. Since then, we have evolved a lot. We now manufacture and distribute a lot of different brands from our sister companies, part of the Broadview material. So we have Formica, of course, we have Fenex, Homapal, ARPA, Trespa Top Lab, and we also own HK. Today, we're going to focus on Trespa Top Lab. The webinar is about high durable surfacing solution, and Trespa Top Lab is a great example. So all of our brands do have transparency documentation. If we're talking about HPDs, EPDs, the declare label, Green Guard Gold, being on the EC3 as well to see the different categorization. We have bio-based certification. So if you go on Sustainable Minds Transparency Catalog, you're going to see all of those different certification for all of our brands. So what is Trespath Lab? They are products that resist chemicals. So they are built to last long, but they are also built for harsh applications. So all of us today talked about airports, and you have an example at the bottom of this page. And I think if you survive the airports, it really does show that your product is strong, durable, high intensity capabilities for shock, for scratch, for chemical as well, because we know that they need to clean the surface often just because of traffic. So the product needs to resist to the chemicals that are used to clean those surfaces. So what is Trespath Lab? The product is made from paper and okay, so it's either made from wood chip or craft paper. Both of those, of course, comes from trees. And they are built and they are put all together with a decorative layer at high pressure and high temperature. That is what makes that product indestructible. We use what we call the electron beam curing technology to produce our Trespath Lab panels, and this is giving all of the different features and benefits that we know of the product, which we're going to talk later. But we could say the high resistance to scratches, to chemicals, which I already talked about, but also color stability and excellence in different applications. So we have 3 different categories under the Trespath Lab brand. We have the Plus Align, we have the Top Lab Vertical, and Top Lab Base. They have different features and benefits, which you can see at the bottom of the slides with the icons. But I would say the main one between Plus Align, and Vertical is, of course, the type of application. So we have more designs option for the Top Lab Vertical, and Top Lab Base would be used for laboratories, for example, where chemicals are not necessarily as harsh as in hospital or in airports. That is where Top Lab Base could be a good solution. So let's look at 2 different case studies. So this one is from Germany in a hospital. They used the Top Lab Vertical products because they were looking for nice designs. Of course, we know that is important, but they were also looking for products that would stand the test of time. This is something really important when we talk about durability. We also talk about the longevity of the material in the space. So their goal was to find a solution for the material to stand all of the different chemicals that they were going to use in that hospital and in different settings. So as you can see, the surfaces were used both in corridors, but as well as in operating rooms, which they always use different chemicals for cleaning. So we need to make sure that the material is going to stand all of those different requirements. They also wanted those products to be durable for shock and for scratches, because we know also in a hospital that a lot of the different material used and the items that they move around are going to touch the sides of the walls. So we want to make sure that those products that are used are going to stand the test of time for that specific purpose as well. The other example is in Plus Ultra Leiden in the Netherlands, which is a building that does laboratories. And they were looking here, what was interesting is they were looking both for really strong and durable material, but also they were looking at the sustainability aspect and requirements. So because they are in Europe, they use the standard that they call BREEAM, which is an equivalent of the LEED standards that we have here in North America. So they need to have EPDs, they need to have the HPDs, the Green Guard Gold certificates, but they also need to have great results in terms of carbon emission, which we're going to talk about in the next few slides. Again, here, the chemical resistance was really high on the list of features that the product needed to have. They needed to resist the cleaning agents, disinfectants, and scratches and impact resistance again. So the Top Lab Plus Align was the answer for that specific application. What about sustainability? Sustainability is really integrated in our day-to-day, it's in our roots. So everything we do starts with sustainability by choosing the right raw material, by choosing the right way of producing, where we produce top lab plus align vertical. We use solar panel on the manufacturing location, which helps, as I was saying at the beginning, for the carbon footprint that we have. But on top of that, we also make sure that we take sustainability as a whole. We talked about durability, and that starts at the high portion of the waste hierarchy pyramid that you see right now on the screen. So having durable products means that those products are going to last for a long time. And this is the best that you can do, because if you don't change those materials, it means that you're not using new raw material, you're not going through the manufacturing cycle over and over again. So this is the best that we can do. And this is why our products are standing the test of time. And they are also warranty for 10 years, no matter which product you're talking about. Here's the example with Plus Align in terms of the different certifications that we have, but also in terms of the carbon footprint that I just talked about. So if we take this and we compare it to the competitors, we see that we are negative. And this is due to the fact that we are using craft paper and wood chips, and those absorb CO2. And even when we use those raw material into our products, they keep and they store that CO2 for the whole lifetime of the product. And because our products are durable and are going to last for many, many years, this is why our EPDs are negative when we compare to other products in the industry that are available. All of our certification go through rigorous testing. We always have third-party verified products and certification, no matter if we talk about the Green Gargle with VOC, the Health Product Declaration, or the EPD or BioBase. Everything that we do are going to be always to the highest standards in terms of sustainability, but also in terms of durability and efficiency of the material. Sustainability, as you've heard, is really into our genes. We do it all the time. We take into account the raw material that we use, the way we manufacture the product into the different locations that we do, no matter if it's North America or in Europe. And we make sure that those standards are to the highest possible so that you can do and use our product and having peace of mind. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Christelle. Again, such beautiful products and beautiful projects. For those of you who have just another minute or so, I'd like to show you how easy it is to get those products from all of those manufacturers and now create product collections based on any selection criteria in Project Builder and Library. So you can see here, I've already started a project called High Traffic Areas. And if I open the project, you can see I've already added a natural stone project. And in fact, I built this project a little bit earlier on another machine. So it is collaborative. Anybody that you work with can be invited to the project, can add products to the project if they have that permission. You can see I already added 7 products. So I already added natural stone. I added key resin. I added some TOTO products. So let's go add some Formica Trespa Top Lab. So I'm going to go to the transparency catalog, and I'm going to go to the CL Brands page. And I'm going to quickly, this is going to be the quickest way to find a specific brand and product. I'm going to go to Formica, and I'm going to go to the Trespa Top Lab sections. I could just read it here in the dividers. I could have searched on it, but I'd like to see all of the products that Formica has. I'm going to add that one Trespa Top Lab product. And now, once I'm back into my high traffic area project, I can look at the reporting tab, and I can see Now, all of the products that I have in the project from all the different manufacturers, and I can see the documents that each product has, the contribution to the CMF. Here's the material pledge report. And what you can see is that four of the products in two of the categories contribute to material pledge categories. And finally, on the lead BPSP report tab, we can see that 4 products contribute to 3 of the BPSP categories, and we're calculating the multi-attribute score to make it easy to then calculate the credit contribution. And in just a couple weeks, we'll be adding the LEM report and the 2 material pilot credits. Each product in a project can only contribute to one of the material credits, either it's interiors, MEP, or other hardscape structure, and LEM is anything with low emitting certificates. So thank you, all of you, for attending today. Thanks to all of the presenters who worked hard to put together a really high value, high content, 10-minute presentation of really incredible solutions for high traffic areas where you're looking for performance, longevity, and beauty. If you have a minute on your way out to respond to the questions, that would be great. And I just want to thank everyone once again for taking time from your busy schedule, and have a great day.